Good morning, beautiful souls. It's the MoonManT and I'm back again, back for you. This voice that you are hearing right now is coming through your sensory apparatuses. It's coming through your ears. But in truth, it lives in you. This is a reflection. This is a trigger. This is a wake-up call to the listener. See, we are in monumental times in the now of planet Earth, the Milky Way, the universe, and all dimensions that exist in creation. See, the human beings are at a crossroads in their journey. Now, it is extremely important to see and witness the polarization of the human beings. On one end of the spectrum, the human beings are awakening to their inner power, their inner worth, their inner guru, their inner genius, their inner projectionist of reality. And they are waking to the fact that they are the creators of their world. On the other end of the spectrum, we have the same old mind control, the same old propaganda, the same old looking outside of yourself to see what has changed and if something will change in order for you to change. This podcast is to show you the mirror, is to show you what will be shown to you for your later choices in your timelines. Now, the old control structure, the old dying matrix wants you to look outside of yourself and see the outer world as being far more powerful than the one who is experiencing the outer world. Now, let me put it this way. The extension of the human being, all technological feats, all engineering feats, all things that the human beings have done in their world. This is adding up to, it's coming to a crescendo. It's coming to a point where the human beings are valuing the extension of the human being instead of looking within the human being to see the brilliance that is human to be able to create the things that the human being does create. See, people are choosing to become more technologically involved instead of going inward to reach that divine place of peace and manifestation. The news and the media and the rest of the human population that isn't aware of themselves as being essential to the evolution of reality are being controlled mentally by thoughts of technological gain, as far as putting chips in their hands, and we're all sucked into the computers and we're all sucked into the internet, and the natural ascension that is occurring, the natural ascent of the human beings that is occurring is on one end unseen, and on the other end it is the only reality that exists, and the old reality of things outside of us is dying out. So whatever you're paying attention to, that's the world that you're playing in. You can be aware of both worlds. You can be aware of the technology world, the outer focused reality. You can be aware of that world and still understand the world of spirit and understand the world of instant manifestation and dimensional traveling and quantum realities. It's possible to be aware of both and choose what reality you wish. But in these times, the pressure to put our energy into the technological aspects of our reality is becoming bigger and bigger and larger in scope. Now, not only that, not only the AI and the technology that is trying to be the new norm and we're taking away from the biological aspects of being human. Not only that, in the polarization of human beings, but the mentalities and the outwardly directed thoughts as far as race and class and all of these things that we can perceive as human beings. All of these things are coming to the forefront. They're screaming louder and louder, and we can see the polarization between the one who sees themselves holistically and beyond all labels and beyond all blah, 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 and those that are still entrenched in the power over others when it comes to what they have and what they can gain as from what they have, and race and class and all of these divisions and all of these separate things that we know to be an illusion. If we understand the fact that all the forces of nature, light, electromagnetism, dynamism, gravity, all of these forces of nature that create what we experience as color, as all the sensory data that we get in our body, if we know this to be artificial, then we'll understand that race is an illusion. There is no race. There is no distance. There is no class. There is no color. There is no norm for the human beings. There is no norm. Now, what the old control system wants you to do is to be emotionally involved in outwardly directed events, race and class and wars and false projections of gods and false projections of who you are in comparison to what a God is. All of these things are playing out right now. All of these things are playing out right before your eyes. You have to be aware of it. Look at the internet. Look at what's being talked about. Look at the quickening of information as far as spirituality. Look at the quickening of misinformation when it comes to what's going on in the world on a higher aspect. Look at the disinformation. Look at how quickly stories come and they go and they come and they go, but the only constant that seems to be sticking around is the ascension, is the awakening, is the awareness of the human beings raising, the awareness of nature, the awareness of extraterrestrial life forms and multidimensional life forms that exist in the ethers of the energy that we can't see with our senses, but we are influenced by every single day. We hear the whispers, we hear the nudgings, and we hear the pulls. So again, with this technology, with this AI, and with this outwardly directed focus in this taking away mentally of the worth of the human being and the biological ascension, the biological evolution, the placing of computer chips and the placing of just all types of replacements when it comes to technology in the biological suit. This is what is, it's a clash. It's like a clash of realities. And you have to choose what reality you wish to further, because again, you are the creator. Again, you are the one who uses their sensory data, decodes what they feel and see in the world, and then responds in turn to whatever they experience to say this is BS or this is something that holds true to me. There will be a blending and emerging of technology and humanness, but it won't be with importance on strictly the technology. We will hone our biological and our conscious energy. We will hone it, and we will realize that that energy affects the entirety of all of reality, of all of reality, then we'll have a better outlook on technology. We won't look at it as something that's better than us, or something that's more powerful than us, or something that can take us over, quote unquote, because we are conscious. We are quantum entities that that bubble in and out of existence all the time. This is physics. This is atoms. This is what we are studying. We are studying the nature of ourselves, and this is what is coming to the forefront in every way. Observe, look at the information that people are getting. Look at people that you've never thought that would ever be in this mentality. Look at them. They are talking about the law of attraction. They are interested in extraterrestrial life. They are interested in cosmic energy. They are interested in the fact that their auric field and their magnetism can pull matter their way for the benefit of their personal reality, and then in turn collectively, it's all the path of the soul, realizing that every single piece of reality is inward. Every single thing that we see with our sensory apparatuses truly lives within us, including the technology that is an extension of the human being, including the illusion of race and the illusion of all of these things, because it's all sensory. It's all sensory. It's all sensory. And we know that the senses are not conveying the truth of what's going on in our outer environment. We know this in physics. We know this in spirituality. We understand that we aren't seeing the full magnitude of what it is that is, quote unquote, out there in the world. So we need to hear this, because an inwardly directed focus is a necessity so that we can communicate with the energy in our environment that we aren't able to see. The non-physical makes up more of the universe than any physical matter. So the physical matter is just the tip of the iceberg, and what we cannot perceive is always around us, influencing our behaviors and influencing our thoughts and emotions and how we will manifest life. But we have to have the realization that thing, or that consciousness, or that what we can't see, that energy, that aura, that field is us, essentially, in varying frequencies and varying tones, if you will, that we resonate with or not. And we choose our resonance. We choose the frequency. These words, fear, joy, and all these words are just symbols for specific frequencies that we may vibrate at, so that we can loosen the matter around us, loosen it up from our old perspective, and move it into ways that we wish to, for collective and personal achievement, betterment, and a sense of wholeness in creation that we haven't gotten, and that we won't be able to have if we continue to be outwardly directed in things like technology, things like race, things like class, and the monetary systems, and all of these blah blah blah. We're conscious entities that have the ability to go inward and imagine what we'd like in our world, feel it emotionally, because these are the tools that we use to create our reality. Feel it emotionally, then go out into the world with that eyesight, with that hearing, with those words within our world, and then transform our world right before our very own eyes. This is how powerful we are in this field of energy that we are all connected to and inseparable from. So no matter what the intent is, it's going back. You're still connected to that field. You're still connected to that one energy that connects all the forces of nature, all the seeming separate realities of nature. No matter what the intent, you're still connected to that. So you are always working for the divine. You are always working for the creator. Even those that seem to be quote unquote lost, because what would I be without a compare and contrast, something to contrast, something to say, this is where I came from. Everybody's playing their role. Every single soul on the planet is a master of reality, or they wouldn't be able to be standing here. They wouldn't be able to be hearing this, or they wouldn't be able to be sitting next to you while you're hearing it. It takes a level of mastery to come to this dimension. It takes a level of mastery to come to this realm and experience things like race, and experience things like separation, and experience density and physicality, and the slowing of one's manifestation abilities, and the knowing that we are dreaming. Oh yeah. It takes a master to come here and forget. So when I look outwardly and I see people, in their lessons, I find them to be powerful. I just even when they're in their sadness, and because I understand who they are in essence. So it takes a lot of energy, a lot of power to pretend as if you are not the creator of all of existence. It takes a lot of energy to veil a soul being within any reality. This reality must be the most powerful one of them all. So that was just a little rant, but remember, take it all inward. You are extremely powerful. The mainstream media is not the only source of information. There is a cosmic source of information. There is a cosmic stream of understanding. There is the Porlena Sea, if you will, pouring onto the planet. And those that have the clear intention and the clearness within their body vehicles to perceive the energy that is pouring in onto the planet will be able to decode that energy with their sensory apparatuses and turn it into information that can be used to perceive correctly in this reality, to heal the body, to heal the mind, to heal the soul, to heal the planet that we're standing on. Inward journeys, inward subjectivity, polarization, and then the coming together of what seemed to be polarized, and the coming together of all the human beings on the planet Earth. In this now, it's only now, regardless of what seems to be occurring, and what seems to be a linear step-by-step time type of reality, it is anything but that. It is cyclical, it is circular, it is timeless stuff. Because those that have existed in the now understand that it has always been now, and that the energy that we are feeling as far as awakening goes is a culmination of the work that we've been putting in that so-called linear space. But we've always been in that now, in that knowing that we can invoke dreamlike realities in our physical world, so-called physical world. So remember that we are more than the technology. We are more than the extension of the human being. We are the grand consciousness of existence, waking to the fact that we are never alone, and that we are surrounded by family in human terms, in the trees and all the animals on the planet Earth, but it's also in the greater community of the universe, extraterrestrial life, interdimensional life, what some will call spirits, or what some will call multidimensional beings that are able to pop in and out of our reality, because their bodies are beyond time and space. They're quantum. So are our bodies are as well. They're multidimensional. The atoms, they pop in and out of existence. If we can control our mental activity, we'd be able to control our perceptions of ourselves and our world and the whole 9 yards. So we are, like I said, we are in a time where they are pushing the extensions of ourselves that are trying to further the agenda of the one ego that we share. They are pushing for us to praise the technology, to be stuck in the technology, to put chips in ourselves, to do this and do that, and stay outwardly focused so that we don't hear the voice within us that tells of a galactic history, a soul history, non-physical beings that chose to create physical bodies to inhabit and physical spaceships to inhabit the body and walk around on this plane of existence. They don't want you to hear that voice that tells you that you are the reason for matter now, right now. When you look around, you're the reason that the energy collapsed into what we would perceive as a physical reality. They don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that your senses aren't conveying the truth of physical life. So it's as if we were walking around as blind men and women, scratching the surface, looking at physical life and saying, this is it. This is all there is. I better take care of my physical life. But we are coming to the realization that it's an inner life, an inner world, an inner brilliance projected outwardly, quite literally, in a mirror of our inner world. The human beings are waking. We are waking together. We're doing it together. Meditate, pray, manifest your world. Be great. Be at peace. Clear your aura. Clear your field. Think quantumly. Think beyond logic. Think beyond the physical while remaining grounded to the planet Earth. It's the MoonManT. I'm going to go back and I'm going to listen to this. I'm sure I went on a little rant, but that's okay. That's what I do. And it's time to express this stuff anyway. It is time to express this energy on the planet Earth because we are moving into a new resonance. The planet Earth's frequency has continuously risen throughout the years. All of her inhabitants have followed suit. You can probably guess which species has been fighting it and holding off because of their own perceived separation from one another and nature and the universe and themselves especially. Mr. MoonManT, I love you and I want you to be your greatest self so that energy can be projected outwardly and I can pick it up and the rest of the world can pick it up. We are connected by a field of unimaginable power and intelligence and awareness and consciousness. Now, we are emitters and receivers of galactic energy and intergalactic and multidimensional energy. So we have to get still and get quiet so that we can emit higher vibratory energies and receive the same and bring heaven to earth and bring love back to the forefront of human endeavors. Peace.